We back on the road? Y'all sleeping in the cart? You just squish your tail? Oh no.
What happened?
Oh no! Hello, Lawrence. You better apologize.
I said I was sorry.
Have I not been generous, granting you warm relief from the cold with a selfless lending of my tail? An intimate
Okay,
utility
hold on.
proffered.
It was an
And
accident.
this is how...
Did you go back to
His
sleep?
hairs and
Oh
flattened it,
my god,
crushing its
Holo, you
dazzling
can't be bending
volume.
over like
Do you
that. Oh my god, he actually went back to sleep. That's so funny. It's so disrespectful.
Do not fall asleep while I am in the midst of talking to you.
That's actually so crazy. You kind of deserve to be suffocated for that, Lawrence. I'm not gonna lie. And not in the way that we all want.
Dealing with Tereo's church? But the one here in Enberch is far grander than theirs.
Yes, we passed it. Quite impressive indeed.
Our
Yeah,
fair
it's huge.
church over... We have an extraordinary priest by the name of Father Mendez, too.
I'm sure. Civic
I'm
individual
sure.
here I need.
Me, whenever someone talks about priests.
Since aren't you tired from the road?
I will rest all the better in the town of Tereo, I believe. I'm far too eager to find any sleep.
I was gonna say, she's excited to get to her goal.
Let's get a warm meal on us
Aw.
before we take off. If that's all right, of course.
Is that even a question?
Yeah, you don't have to pass food by Holo. She'll agree. I guess we're just gonna get a montage compilation of them getting it, which means maybe they'll spend some time in Tereo. It won't just be a passing through stop. There's only like 5 episodes left, so I can't imagine we have a big arc before then. I feel like we just clean up loose ends, probably.
What is that?
We're definitely not getting to Yoitsu in this season. I don't know if this is confirmed for a second. Oh my god. Man is on the run.
Whoa there! Easy! Sorry, I hope you don't mind me stopping you like this.
Tell me that's Stark's voice actor from Freeman. Nah. That sounded so much like Stark. Hang on. Look at that. I heard 2 words from this guy, and I was able to pick out that was Stark. Oh, I love anime. Shout out my Freeman reactions.
I'm excited when I see new folks, and you two don't look like you're from around
You're
here.
about to be the goofy
No,
comedic
just
relief.
travelers
I mean, most folks would struggle to call it a village.
This is gonna be so weird for me. Going, I hope this guy actually isn't a major character. I can't not see Stark in my mind when I hear his voice. Also, what is the color shading on his hands? Did I just pick a bad frame to pause on? You got eczema?
She's a nun out on pilgrimage.
She's a nun?
Is that a problem?
Well, I just don't think it's a good idea to take a nun with you to Tereo.
To a pagan town
It's
that has
business
problems with the
Tereo's
church?
With that lot of uppity idiots from the Church of Enberch. A
Whoa.
strange new nun blowing in from that direction might get folks riled up, you know.
Right.
It's okay, we'll just change our
Why would we want
cosplay.
that to happen?
What kind of business do you have with the church?
We need some directions.
You what? Oh, personal business, not merchant business then. Too bad, I was kind of hoping I could help you.
I was about to snap on him. I was gonna be like, why are you asking? That ain't even none of your business. And then I was like, wait. Occupation, wait.
Okay.
Swing around and say goodbye before you leave, all right?
Everyone just falls in love with Holo at first sight. Can't blame them. Not the double arm wave. Alright, hopefully we don't see you again, because I really don't want to picture Stark
His
every
eyes
time
were
I see
more on
you.
He's probably dying to find some way out of this village. There has to be someone there overseeing the mill and running the grinder.
An
So we're
altar
looking
from
for a
the
landlord
start.
for the villain of this city.
That needs to be done.
More common than you think. That's an odd looking town. The structure is all up the side with a middle path leading directly to the church. Some rough looking people. Okay. Wait, are they playing backgammon? That's backgammon. How old is backgammon? I know how to play that game. Brother, White is kicking your ass. Holy. Based on their expressions, it seems like they have a problem with the church. They're gonna get a town versus church dynamic, because I'm all for that. I love me a good versus the church arc.
I presume you have some kind of business here?
Correct.
She kind of looked like she'd be the daughter of the mother in The Promised Neverland.
I am the one responsible here. My name is Elsa Stingheim.
You
What
own
is
this
your business?
place? No wonder they hate you. They don't want to see a kid in church.
Yes. We're trying to find the way to Diendron Abbey. The abbot Louis Lana Stinghilt should be caring for it.
There are a lot of hard names I'm gonna have to write down to remember.
Never heard of it!
I
Oh
was
my
told
God,
there was
wait,
a
you
priest
can't do
named
that.
Father Franz here that I might speak with.
Father Franz passed away late last summer. Now be gone! I don't know the supposed abbey you speak of, and I have no more time to waste!
She's definitely the Abbey.
Would you mind if I napped here?
What would you do if I said that I did mind?
I would ask.
We gotta stop with these angles. Just give me the the barefoot angles back. It's fine. I'll take the dogs
Well,
versus
we have
these
been
like
hitting the road
suggestive
pretty
look
hard.
backs. I'm all for a little fan service, but not when I'm
If I get
recording it
back
for
and find
YouTube.
those Before you do that, how about you fold away the overcoat you just tossed aside and take off your robe? Then get beneath the blanket so you don't catch cold.
Oh,
cruel
dude.
a thing.
Putting away
My
clothes is like
goodwill's
one of my
gonna
least
run
favorite
out
chores.
eventually.
That shit sits in
With
a
a face
basket
like
for like a week
mine,
before
I'm
I
not
get
so
to it.
concerned. Will you
I'm
be
so
doing
bad with it.
meanwhile?
While I'm gone, you be a good girl and get some sleep.
Don't.
Yes, sir.
No. I knew she was gonna say something like that. Oh,
Alright,
there's
sleep
one of my
well.
least favorite archetypes for characters. It's the brat dynamic. I don't do brats. I'm just not a brat fan. Holo's a cutie, but she's leaning more and more to that as the series goes on.
I'm a traveling merchant
Look,
and...
Elder! The stranger's here! Now where has that man got to? Hey, Elder!
Oh, loud ass.
We're simply in the process of turning the wheat we harvested into bread.
You getting in with the MILFs, Lawrence? Scales? Dragon? Snake. Snake. Gotcha. I don't know why I went to dragon first.
I was wondering if you might be able to help me. I'm trying to locate a nearby abbey. I inquired as to its whereabouts at the church earlier, but they didn't seem to know.
Is that so?
Oh, he knows something. He looked up and to the right. That means he's about to lie. I'm a little bit educated on facial manipulation. Up and to the right, or like kind of like parallel line and to the right, is usually you using your creative side of your brain, I believe, and that means you're about to lie. And then up and to the left is like kind of accessing your memory.
It seems you have Miss Elsa.
Yes. No doubt her youth came as quite a surprise to you.
Indeed. Anyway,
Oh my god, who's banging?
It would appear that I have another appointment.
always busy right after the harvest, isn't it?
Lawrence is just like, I'll see myself out. But also, I'm gonna listen to this conversation through the door. Oh my god, she's honked me.
I should get some sleep myself.
Round 2 with her tail? She's gonna be next to him.
Unremoved.
I'm falling off. Yeah, she's like, nah, we're
The
going.
message.
Is it like the middle of the night though? Hello, Evan? To the church?
Huh?
Didn't you just shit talk the church?
You can't just pop up like that.
She
It's
can.
scary.
It's scary.
Doing.
Seems like he's heading toward the church.
How suspicious.
Middle of the night heading to the church? Are you lovers?
Imagine.
Oh my god, they are. Oh no.
This is getting good.
Wait, Holo kind of
Such
sound
a
like free rent there.
private lady.
This whole episode is free
Well,
rent
at
coded.
least It is more academic, much like studying.
Studying?
I'll learn how to be in a
Desire to
relationship.
perceive how it looks to others when they see you and I together. See?
Damn it, Lawrence. You told me you haven't thought of that before.
I wonder how many people have secretly gazed down on us from their windows.
Many, I imagine.
Elsa and Sem both clearly know about Diandron Abbey, and yet
Yes.
they pretended as if they'd never heard of it.
Correct.
And I want to
Is
find out
the
why
church
that
is corrupt. Shit hasn't changed in our present day. First time, like that shit is still going on. That was good though. It looks like we're gonna go one last arc before the end of the series. Maybe this will be like a 2 or 3 episode arc before we wrap up. Should be cute. Excited to see where we go from here. Looks like we're partying in the tavern. Little got herself a drink.
That's what I call drink. You've got skill, lady.
That sounded familiar too. Yeah, that sounds like Magna from Black Clover. Wonder if that's him. Is this a random townsman? So I don't think they'll be credited, but that'd be funny.
Our good mistress here used to be something of a wanderer, traveling from place to place, carrying an old jug.
You were?
We love a digital nomad. Or I guess like in this time it'd be like a... Never mind.
Then, as the story goes, the Count and his men rode on in to drive off the rum chuggers, and then they drank up all
The
of our
rum
beer.
chuggers. Wait, I love that. That's kind of funny. So this is a big drinking town, it looks like. Or like maybe like a party town.
With ambition in her eyes, she followed the Count afield.
Ah, so you became his brewmaster then.
This is like an interesting way to do like a lore dump on the town. I kind of don't hate it. It's like digestible this way.
One night, soon after arriving in this here village, I got completely sloshed and fell into the arms of my now husband.
I got hammered and married. She looks like the type that would say that.
What a fine tavern. I doubt you'd find one this good even in the royal capital.
You got that right.
It's strange there's just like this like up and bustling tavern just in the middle of this small town, no? Isn't that weird? Like they're so on the hush hush during the daytime when the church is around and they just celebrate at night like this, presumably every night. Like,
Surely this village must be blessed by God himself.
well, not the G word.
No amount of gratitude could ever supplant our loyalty to the Lord Truio.
Or
Yes.
who?
He's the god of our village, granter of bountiful harvests, and he for whom the town of Tereo was named.
Are y'all pagans?
The god of harvests. Is he by any chance a wolf?
A wolf? Don't be ridiculous. They're the servants of the devil, not gods.
Oh my god. Holo, close your ears.
As depicted, Lord Tereo is a snake. He's a snake god.
Sorry, wolves are depicted by the devil, but not snakes? Make it make sense a little bit.
There's a big cave just outside the village that Lord Tereo hollowed out to hibernate in one hard winter.
This is setting up to be an interesting dynamic, because the previous episode, they set up the like church versus the town dynamic, and now we're getting more of that here at the start of this episode, where it's like, we have these presumably pagans worshiping their deity against the church who's probably pushing a different deity. And then this pagan deity is also against wolves specifically, because that's part of the devil. So then Holo's exiled from getting along with these pagans. Like, it's going to be a really interesting triangle that we got going on here.
It's right up on the slope of the ridgeline.
So you're definitely going in there.
So, to avoid conflict, we reluctantly agreed to the construction of a small church here in the village.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, they're definitely against the church. It's here literally as like a
Mercifully, about 30 or 40
like
years
a
ago
peace
now,
treaty almost.
Father Franz took in Miss Elsa a little over 10 years ago, and she was always rather fond of him.
A little over 10 years ago. That girl is 18 at most.
Priest and all? Odd, right?
No, not odd at all that the priest is taking in a child. Not really isn't odd.
Every village has its own set of woes, after all.
Yeah.
People passing on through just need to eat our food and down our drink.
You know what? She has a point. Because I think there's like something to be said about the way that Holo and Lawrence go into towns. And yes, it starts off usually to make some type of trade, but it kind of is like them meddling in the town's business, either solving something for themselves or the town, and then getting out to the next town. It's kind of like a little off-putting, I think, to just like heavily inject yourself into the town's business. But I think for anime's sake, you have to do that. Like, it makes a good story that way. I would not want to be in Lawrence and Holo's position where they just keep going from town to town and then just getting in the middle of things. She has a point there, though. Like, all she really does want you to do is eat her food, try her drinks, and then give us a good Yelp review, you know?
Oh, though it seems it's already lights out for some. Evidently, you're
Holo.
one mug too many.
Well, time to carry her back. Oh, she's up.
What's the matter?
You got a pomegranate?
Oh, thanks.
What do you mean awful? Oh, yeah, wait, Holo, you're not supposed to eat the skin on those. Yeah, that's not the fruit part. Oh, I love pomegranate though. That's probably my favorite fruit.
Sourness of this fruit would shock me back to sobriety had I been drunk for the last century.
I guess she can eat the skin of it, but yeah, it's mainly the seeds that you.
It does somewhat beg the question.
Oh?
Nothing. I'm just wondering how it is these people make money.
Yeah, Lawrence has a point, right? Like during the night of like a tavern party, it would come up talking about like expenses or some shit, or the winter or the future, or literally anything. That conversation last night felt very carefree. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say that there's probably something going on because it's a show and not real life. There's definitely something going on. I don't really know where this is going.
The church only recognizes inexplicable feats and extraordinary happenings of godly origin as miracles in earnest.
Yeah, literally. Oh, does anyone remember that old like video clip of like Jesus giving this woman a brand new hip? God, I'm dating myself with this one, but if anyone remembers that clip, let me know. There's like a remix of it too. It was terrible.
As a once-named god, do I qualify as a source?
Well, the amount of beer
Probably.
you drink is certainly miraculous.
You idiot.
She's right. But also, I like Lawrence's one-liners.
I would gladly scour every nook and cranny unbound if I was allowed to. I wish to find this elusive abbey as soon as possible.
It's tough because like she wants to be involved, right? And I hate when Lawrence like leaves her behind for things because it's always felt in a very like, I don't need your help on this thing, I can get it done. But I think this time it's like in her best interest to not be roaming around the place if they're not really big on wolves here. And she can't disguise as a nun either because they're not big on that.
Thank you for last night.
Yeah, we're there every night, so feel free to stop by and say hi.
You're there every night? Going back to what Lawrence said where he wonders how this town makes money. My first initial reaction was that like, oh, they get money from everyone partying every night. But the people that spend have to get money too. And if they're townsfolk that live here, then are they just like thriving on their farming? He did say it was a farming town. Do they have like special soil somewhere where they're just like mass producing crops?
I thought I might get some wheat ground into flour.
Ah, you're going to see the miller then. Make sure he doesn't skim anything off the top.
They don't mess with Evan.
I might just take you up on that.
That look was a tell, right? Lawrence recognized something off about that sentence. I think Evan lied about why people are like hesitant of him. He said something in the previous episode about like people have like a certain ideology about him, but he didn't say what it was. I don't think. Probably doesn't have to worry about lying about that because they do. It just has to. It's probably for a different reason than what he said.
But I briefly worked as a substitute tax collector in my younger years. I had to collect butcher's tax on the amount of meat they stocked.
A tax collector.
Rivers get dirty when you wash flesh and bone in them, and meat produces a lot of waste besides that. The tax is to pay for the cleanup, but no one ever wants to pay it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had to beg, barter, and bleat to get people to settle up, and they loathed me for it.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say people would have hated you for that job.
Hey, Evan, you said that all of Tereo's grain is processed into flour here, right?
Why the curiosity? Are you looking to do business in Tereo flour?
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Then you'd do best to abandon that notion.
No merchant worth his salt would abandon a good lead.
You're right there. But dauntless or not, I'm afraid the grain you see here has already been promised to Enberch.
It has? Does that mean Enberch has some kind of right to the mill?
We have a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Does another exterior town own this mill? Do they have a contract where all of the wheat from this mill goes to that town and then that town funds the existence of this town?
They buy grain from us in bulk, and we in return buy everything except grain from them.
Oh, okay. So they don't fund it. Well, they kind of fund the town. They get everything but wheat from them.
Exempt from taxation when buying alcohol and clothing. What do you think? Good. On top of that, we're exempt from taxation when buying alcohol and clothing.
No taxes?
Good deal, right?
Yeah.
Remarkable.
That's horrendous for the town. What?
It's been practically unheard of to have such favorable terms with a town that much bigger.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. No. Here's where the church corruption goes in. So the church is influencing that deal somehow. Whether it's this little girl or the father before her. I keep calling her a little girl. Whether it was the girl from the church or the father beforehand, they have something to do with this trade deal being the way it is. That is not a deal that you would agree to normally. That is horrendous for that town.
You want to know why they changed their mind?
Yes, please. Just actually tell me.
Sorry. I don't actually know why.
I knew you. I knew it. I said he had eczema earlier this episode. I'm pretty sure he just has flour on his hands. Whoops. He works at a mill. I should have figured that out.
Hey, how's my flour doing over there?
Oh, yeah, right.
He said, no more questions. Get back to work.
Oh, by the way, I saw you earlier, talking to young Miss Elsa.
There you go.
You saw us talking by the church, huh? It gets a bit too cold to sleep in the mill in winter. And so Ms. Elsa kindly lets me stay in the church for warmth.
Yeah, okay.
Elsa can be pretty short-tempered for how timid she is, and so when she's interacting with people she doesn't know for the first time, she tends to bare her fangs like a cornered wild.
Nah, they love. Nah, good try.
And she's the type to enthusiastically share how many times she sneezed that day.
I'm a stranger.
Really?
Elsa looked up to Father Franz a great deal. She's been doing her best to fill the void he left. I'm just trying to support her as much as I can.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Supporting her from under the desk, that is.
Why does all this interest you, Mr. Lawrence?
My own companion's mood changes as frequently as the mountain weather.
Sounds like she can be a bit of a handful.
You have no idea.
You know, before he gets into that, I didn't mind that. This is kind of like a bro bonding type of thing, which they're not even that close, which I don't know. I kind of enjoyed this conversation a little bit, but maybe because he sounds like Stark and I'm just imagining all this come out of Stark. If you haven't seen Free Run, Stark's basically the opposite of Evan. He basically doesn't get any signals, doesn't get anything about romance, literally misses all the signs, is childish, like complete opposite of Evan here.
How do you live the kind of life you do?
Like a trading merchant or?
No such thing as an easy path through life. But if you love the road you're on, it's not so bad.
What are the semantics to that? Did you want his money, or you can afford to live fine when you're only charging him 3 silver for a mill?
Something is wrong with this village. It's dangerous.
You are not willing to face a little danger to find my beloved home?
Yeah, what? When has that ever stopped you before? Gave her your potato? Oh, it's bread, isn't it?
Reason Elsa and the village elder both knew that the old priest was in the habit of collecting stories of pagan gods. Even so, they adamantly denied knowledge of it.
Yeah, this is like a summary of what we have so far.
Debt the village owes the late father.
Yes, odd indeed. Clearly, Father Franz did something for the village.
He probably is behind however they got that no tax deal, right? Like, that's the main thing so far.
Culminating with the arrival of a message. One most certainly containing an endorsement for Elsa to succeed Franz, coming from a prominent noble or large church.
Okay, so it sounds like Edinburgh? Was it? The town wants to opt out of this contract now that Father Franz is gone. And Elsa has to figure out a way to keep this deal to keep the town afloat, but she has to do it while the town hates her, and the town doesn't recognize that there's some ulterior motives going on. That's how Father Franz got this deal, other than just being a good barter, I guess. And it seems like Evan is probably in on it and helping Elsa somehow, since he runs the mill too, right? Like he probably has some type of knowledge of people passing through. He also asked Lawrence about living a life like his, so that makes me think that he wants to take her and leave, possibly. We have maybe that angle, and they're kind of just going to be like, screw this town, we're getting out. Come up with your own deals. But maybe Elsa doesn't want to leave. Maybe this is where she wants to be.
I don't imagine Enberch will give up so easily.
I said Edinburgh. Enberg.
There's no way Elsa or the village head will dare reveal the existence of a pagan-inclined abbey to a couple of outsiders.
But this is the thing I was talking about earlier. Like, this is not your fight to fight. You can simply just move on, right? Like, you don't have to solve this issue for them.
Hey, Holo. This time I want to make sure we're on the same page so I know what you want.
Okay, I like that.
What is it you're hoping to hear from the pagan stories we seek? Are you looking to find the bear that legend claims destroyed Yoitsu?
No, I really like that, Lawrence.
That you're just looking for your friends.
And if I was?
That's fine, as long as you know that you guys are on the same page.
Danger by your side.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I am glad to hear it.
Okay.
If it would help, I would slap that girl's cheeks red and demand she tell me every story the priest left behind.
Look, I know it's not the best thing to do, and word would probably get around, but if I'm Lawrence, I'm like, all right, we can sneak in, and when Evan sneaks in at night, tie him up, and then you can ref up Elsa a little bit till you get the information you want. I mean, like let's just move on towns. We don't have to solve this issue. Get our information and go,
Oh, I wish to learn more of my former home. Is that wrong? To want to learn new things
it's not. I'm all for making drastic, terrible choices that affect like your personal world, Like, I get Lawrence has a little bit more to lose having traded reputation, but this is a pagan town anyway. Most towns with a church probably don't care for this town. Surely the town that they have a contract with doesn't like this town, so you might be able to sacrifice your relationship in one town just to, get the information that Holo wants. I'm all for it.
Still, I would prefer you not wade belly deep into danger to sate my curiosity.
Why not? That's what I want.
For though here I stand, ripe and ready for the picking.
Ew.
You resist devouring.
I hate that.
Oh, what a frightening male you are.
Though fruit may look sweet to the eye, it can taste anything but once it's clenched between the teeth.
It's talking about the pomegranate.
It could well turn out to be unbelievably sour. Although, do you mean to say that I am not sweet?
I was just gonna say, he literally just called Holo sour. That's crazy. Nah, I like this. I say this every time they have a conversation in an inn somewhere, that it becomes my new favorite conversation of the series. But I think that's just a sign that it's a great series, right? Like,
so curt a question in so kind a way.
Ooh, Holo grasping onto him.
I do still wish to know what became of my home, what became of those few I called my friends, and what became of that bear.
I felt like it meant something.
Might I beg a favor?
Yeah, it sounds like she's like reaching out to ask please.
I'll do anything you ask of me.
Well, I have an idea that I would much like your help with.
Oh, we gonna get a Holo-led operation? I'm all for it. In a way, they're all Holo-led, because she just doesn't tell Lawrence what's going on most of the time.
I have decided I want to wade belly deep into danger aside you after all.
Oh, good choice.
You would not go back on your word now, would you, Lawrence?
You better not. This is going exactly where I'd love it to go. I don't think it's gonna go there.
Worry not. Should things go poorly, I will leave the salvaging efforts to you. For now, though, I will simply place my hand atop yours.
Oh my god. No, this is what I want.
What do you say we get a tasty meal in our stomachs?
She says after just devouring hers and his bread. That bread did look good though. Oh, this is going exactly where I want it to. I'm so excited.